talk about the collective shift that's happening right now as the earth shifts from the season of winter, which is all about rest, restoration, rejuvenation, reflection, quiet time, to the season of spring, which is all about rebirth, creation, growth. If we think about the earth and natural seasons, I live in an area that gets 4 seasons. Winter, all the plants and animals are sleeping. The trees do not grow. Anything that does grow, all plants, they shrink down. They seem to be dying, but their roots are hibernating underneath the soil. And the critters are very busy in the fall gathering things, and in the winter they go and sleep and enter a hibernation. And now humans, if we were also still living our true natural selves, and we didn't have all this technology that kept us warm in the winter, and we didn't have society telling us we still had to work 9 to 5s, we would also be just trying to stay alive and warm in the winter and conserve our energy. And so if you feel naturally tired in the winter and low energy and you have no motivation, that's normal. And I actually work with the 4 seasons. I am an intuitive mentor, which means I work with what my body tells me. And so this past winter, I have been really enjoying playing with my inner child more in the snow and enjoying the snow. But that meant there was less time to work and create things. And, I was having a hard time creating new offers and putting them out there because it was a season of rest. Really exciting shift happening right now in March. The spring solstice is coming, and that means this is the best time to work on your goals, to manifest your dreams and your desires. And this is what I'm calling the spring awakening. And I'm so excited for this because there is a collective need, a calling to break out of the autopilot. So many of us are just going through the motions of life. We wake up, we make our coffee the exact same way every day. We maybe scroll our TikToks and Instagram immediately when we wake up. We, do the exact same thing. Maybe we're even wearing the same clothes every day or similar clothes. You drive the exact same way to work every day if you work in an office, or if you're have your own business and you're working from home, like most of you are. You go into your office and you do the exact same thing. You create a post, you post it, whatever you do, we're going through the motions, right? We need this routine, and we follow that routine because society tells us that we have to do these things. But you can get trapped in this autopilot mode and not even realize it. I just crafted an email to my newsletter, my email list, and I talked about my decade-long experience of being in the freeze response, the stress response, freeze response, which meant that I was so used to feeling stressed out, nervous, anxious, low vibrational energy that feeling tense, feeling nervous, feeling anxious was my body's go-to. I learned how to cope with that. I learned how to be comfortable with that. And so for 10 years, I was existing in this freeze response. So when I actually began to do the work to get out of it, I didn't even realize that I was going through days without even kind of processing what's happening. I would wake up in the morning and I'd have the same thoughts. I'd have the same stories playing in my head. I'd go through the motions. I'd end my day the exact same way on the couch watching Netflix. I'd fall asleep on the couch, go to bed, and another day had passed. And it felt like I wasn't getting anything done, even though I was doing stuff technically. And so when I started doing my spiritual awakening and started doing my inner child work, my rewilding work, and connecting to my intuition, that was when I finally realized how stuck I had been in this freeze response autopilot mode. And so spring awakening is all about awakening your being, awakening your body and your mind and your spirit. So what does it mean to be awake? I've got notes here, so I'm going to occasionally glance at this because I'm not the best at remembering things. But what does it mean to be awake? For me, it means that you're not going through the motions on autopilot like I just talked about. It means you have a deep connection to your intuition. The great thing about your intuition is that it is literally a compass that is here to guide you every single day. So if you're someone who's feeling lost and stuck and you don't even know what your next step is, and you're looking to others like, oh, okay, like people told me I should go get good grades, go to college, get the good job. You're just going through the motions again of what society is telling you to do, but you have an internal compass that's specifically made for you to guide you on the path that you should be going on. So your intuition has these answers, and you have the opportunity to co-create your life with it, which is so exciting. That's the work that I do every single day, and I absolutely live for it. So being awake is having that deep connection to your intuition and constantly communicating and checking in with your intuition of, is this right for me? Yes or no? What should I be doing? And I've gotten to the point where I actually hear messages from my intuition and my higher self. They tell me exactly what I need to know. It's magical. So not going through the motions on autopilot, connecting deeply to your intuition, and developing the self-trust to actually follow your intuition. Many people like know they have an intuition, but they don't trust it. You'll be like, oh yeah, my gut's telling me to do this, but like, why would I do this? That's something where you need to work on, right? You should be trusting yourself and your intuition, because your intuition is there to guide you. Not relying on external validation. This was another huge one for me as an overachiever, perfectionist. Growing up, I was constantly trying to people please and get the best grades and do the best in my sport that I was doing, and, win. And every time I would get a bad grade or lose the race, I would collapse internally. And because I learned that when I win, when I get good grades, when people compliment me, that means that I'm worthy. But I never learned to create that sense of worthiness from within. I never told myself that I was worthy of love, success, happiness. I never had that opportunity, and I know I'm not the only one who's like this. So not having to rely on external validation, being able to wake up in the morning and say, I am beautiful, I am confident, I am capable, I'm worthy of success, I'm worthy of people paying me to join my programs, I like all the things, any limiting belief you have, being able to face that and say, I am worthy of this internally, without anything else, without any other thing, without getting the views, without getting the clients, without getting the engagement, without filling your launch. Like that's what it means to be awake to me, in my opinion. Also being able to process and transmute energy in real time. So what that means is, like, again, I was talking about going through the motions and being on autopilot. We do the same thing with our mind. Your mind is constantly saying different thoughts and stories and providing you these narratives that keep you stuck. So many times you don't even realize your brain is saying like, oh, you're not good enough. People are judging you. Oh, why'd you do that? You have all these thoughts running through your head, and these are limiting beliefs. These are your ego trying to keep you comfortable. And if you were like me and you spent a decade in freeze response and your normal was feeling stressed, anxious, like you had to hustle and try to keep up, then your ego is going to try to keep you in that position. And so we don't want to be in that position. You want happiness, you want ease, you want success. And so we need to create a safe space for that to happen. And in order to do that, we need to transmute that energy and process these thoughts and stories in real time. And with that, we have to unlearn those generational stories, the societal stories and norms that we go through, like, going to school, getting good grades and getting the good job and climbing the corporate ladder. And for women, like having children by a certain age, like all these stories, we're breaking free of that. There's new ways of doing things. And if you're an entrepreneur, you've already broken free from the norm already. Congratulations. Like, starting an online business was not something our ancestors had the opportunity to do. It is so new, and you get to be a front runner of that, and that's so exciting. Like, you should take a moment to pat yourself on the back for that, because it's literally so cool that we get to pave the way and try something new here. So that is why I created this 1-week immersion called Spring Awakening. It's to break free from the autopilot, connect deeply to your intuition so that you always have that guiding compass, and call in more abundance. Now, this program came to me in such an interesting way because this is something I've never done before. What I mean by that is like the format of this program is something I've never done before. I've never done a program that's this short. I've never released a program that's this inexpensive to join. I've never released a program that has so much value packed into it in such a short burst. And my ego was saying like, no, people want the 3-month-long program. No, people's not going to see the value in X, Y, Z. Like my ego is supplying these things too. But right now there is a collective shift happening as winter turns to spring, and I'm feeling so called and lit up to share this. A good program is one that you're also being activated and triggered while you're launching it. And that's happening for me. And I'm so excited. Like, if you can't tell from my energy, I'm just like bursting through the seams of excitement to get to share this with you, because this is something I've been doing on my own for so long. And, you know, occasionally I'll have a VIP client ask me more about working with the seasons and, you know, getting out of the rut when you're in this stuck period. But I've never done a program like this to the masses 1 week long, where by the end of it, you'll feel so energized and excited, and you'll have a literal thing that we'll be working on so that you can go and start calling in that abundance that you desire. So what is Spring Awakening? So there are 3 different calls and a group chat that you'll get to be active within for the week. Call number 1, the goal of this call is to be activated and build your confidence. Already, that's going to do so much for you, because you know that your confidence, your energy is what attracts more abundance into your life, what attracts your manifestations. And so if you have a business, which you all should be if you're following me, then if you want more sales, more clients in your business, then you need to have high energy. You need to have confidence. You need to have that magnetism. And it starts with activating yourself and building your confidence. So inside this call, we're going to be working on your motivation, your why, your purpose, your devotion, and whom you're meant to be, who you're meant to become. And so I'm sure you've had this moment of thinking, like daydreaming of this version of yourself that has it all, that has the successful, thriving business, that has the home that you wish you lived in, or the traveling that you wish you were doing, the car that you desire. Like, I'm sure you daydreamed about this. We're actually going to tap into that version of yourself. We're going to tap into that version of yourself and learn how she did it, and actually begin to act like that so that you can manifest it. And so we're going to do journal prompts to connect to that higher version of yourself. And you're also going to learn how to transmute energy so that you can literally shift timelines from being the version of you that's stuck, low vibrational energy, you know, always feeling anxious and, you know, not really knowing your next step, to that high vibe queen who knows exactly what she's doing, who gets everything that she wants and is thriving. So excited for that. And you're going to get some homework and every single call has homework. I'm not going to spoil the homework. I'm like reading down the call breakdown right now that I've already done because I was so excited about this, but I don't want to give away too much. So that's call number 1. That's going to be on Monday, March 13th. I don't have a specific call time set yet, but that will be coming soon. So if you are even remotely interested in this and you're like worried about if you can make the call times or not, first of all, don't worry about it, because there will always be replays available, but more info on that will be supplied to my story. So make sure you're following me, make sure you're watching my stories, because that's going to be released as the week goes on. So call number 2 is then reconnecting with your intuition. Call number 1, we got to activate yourself, got to build your confidence, got to shift your energy. Call number 2 is now we get to tap into their intuition so that you have that direct path that you need to go follow. And so in this one, we get to dive into your human design. We get to learn a little bit about how you are as a human, your superpowers, your natural tendencies, and learn how to do decision-making, empowered decision-making using your human design, which is really amazing because every single human design type makes decisions their own way. And so we get to dive into that. You know, if you make a decision and you have to consult 100 people, like, some people might judge you for that, but that might be normal for your type. And so you actually get to dive into this and learn how to make empowered decisions using your human design. And once I learned how to do this, like, it made decisions for me who was indecisive so much easier. And I get to fall back on that whenever I have big decisions, little decisions, like what do I eat for dinner tonight? Like, everything gets solved through this. We're also going to do some activities of creating safety for your intuition to come through. So we'll do some nervous system regulation, and you'll learn some tools that you actually get to use after the program ends. And it'll be in your toolbox for life. I do nervous system regulation literally every single day, and that's helped me break free from that 10-year autopilot where I was stuck in freeze response, and become more present and live in the present moment. I'm also going to be guiding you through some meditations, specifically one that I do every single day to connect to my intuition, which is so exciting. And again, there's homework, fun homework, not like one you used to do in school. And then call number 3, and call number 2 is going to be on Wednesday, March 15th. Call number 3 will be on Friday, March 17th, which is my anniversary with my partner, Richard. So the goal of this call is to begin to take action, right? Spring awakening is all about taking action, growth, doing the thing, creating. And so my program would do nothing for you if you didn't have the platform and motivation and like tools to actually take action. Any program that just gives you all the information that's like, all right, you're good, is subpar in my opinion, because you want something that's going to actually lead you and hold you accountable so that you can do and practice the things that we've learned. And so in this specific module, this call, we're going to begin to take action, overcome your fears that's keeping you from taking action, and tap into your emotions so that you can begin to manifest. So in this one, we'll talk about how to live in your signature theme. This is another human design theme. This is another thing in human design that is like literally it tells you if you're in alignment or not, which is super cool. I think of it as like a little indicator. So like if you're not in alignment, you can just quickly tap into your emotions and say, what am I feeling right now? What is my alignment feeling? Okay, that's what I need to do. Here are the things I need to do to get there. And it's so easy. It's like the easiest switch ever. You're also going to begin to embody your higher self by taking action and doing the thing and creating something. And we're going to be creating a new thing for you, whether that's a new offer, whether that's a masterclass, whether that's a plan to go out and do yoga or something, like whatever your goal is for the spring, you're going to make a plan so that you can actually begin to work on it. And the cool thing about this is after the call, you'll have the group chat where we'll hold each other accountable, check in to see how things are going. And again, there'll be more homework. That is Spring Awakening. If you are interested, like this is, like I said before, something I've never done before. It's a week-long immersion to break free of the autopilot, connect to your intuition, and call in more abundance in your life. The best part about this is that it's $77 for the entire week. That includes the 3 group calls, the replays, and the group chat. So there's a limited time to jump in on this. I don't know if I'll do this again because it is so like low cost and everything's just punched into 1 week. But I'm feeling really called to do it. So if you're interested, there's a link in my bio, or you can send me a DM and ask if this is the right program for you. But if this is a test for you right now on your intuition. If you're feeling the nudge, if you're feeling something, if you're feeling activated by this is your first test to trust your intuition and take that first step. Whether that's DMing me, asking questions, or whether that's by visiting the link in my bio and exploring the program in a little more detail, or, whether that's just jumping right in and being one of the first people to join the program. I am so excited for this.